10 biggest rivalries in the animal kingdom. In the animal kingdom, we are most likely to see a great dominance from the predator over its prey. Sometimes it is not that simple, though. In some habitats, some species have been fighting for prey for a long time, thus forming a very great rivalry. So let's see what are the biggest rivalries in the animal kingdom. 1. Ants versus termites. On the surface, you would probably think that termites would be the easy victors. After all, termites are substantially larger than ants, usually by 2 to 3 times, if not bigger. Termites also often have heads that would appear built for combat. But that's not necessarily the case in the termites versus ants war. When ants go up against termites, it's usually not even close to a fair fight. Termites get annihilated. Despite their average size and weight, ants are much more aggressive and almost always have numerical superiority as well. They'll invade the termite nest, make short work of the termite warriors, then kill the termite queen and drag her from the nest. This virtually always ensures the death of a termite colony. 2. White shark versus killer whale. Most people believe that the great white dominates the seas without having to worry about other animals. Who would dare to face such a terrible beast, right? Well, the ocean is full of surprises, and, most of all, full of giant, terrible creatures. What do you think would happen if a great white crossed a killer whale's path? Orcas, also known as killer whales, can weigh up to 12,300 pounds, 5,600 kilograms, and reach 31 feet, 9.5 meters, while the great white shark usually weigh up to 2,200 pounds, 1,000 kilograms, and reach about 16 feet, 5 meters. Large predators like the orca tend to go after prey animals that have a lot of rich blubber on their body, which means that most of the shark is unappealing as a meal. There are documented accounts of killer whales targeting sharks that date back decades. It's possible even that great whites may have been part of the killer whale's diet well before then. Observers in the Farallon Islands witnessed a real encounter between these two sea giants. According to them, the orca did actually change its course in order to attack the great white. The orca rammed the shark on the flank, leaving it very confused, then took it from behind, turning it upside down and drowning it. The good news for sharks is that they seem to be learning to adjust to the threat. Sharks have been seen leaving areas when they know that there are killer whales nearby. 3. Bears versus wolves. Bears are much larger than wolves. Grizzly bears range from 5 to 8 feet, 1.5 to 2.5 meters, and weigh 800 pounds, 363 kilograms. A wolf ranges from 36 to 63 inches, 91 to 160 centimeters, and weighs up to 175 pounds, 79 kilograms. So, if a lone wolf runs into a bear, it would most probably flee because it would stand no chance. However, wolves have a great advantage. They work as a group. Wolves and brown bears often come into conflict over a kill. Most of the time the wolves have brought down an animal, and the bigger, much stronger bear invites itself to the feast, while inviting the wolves to leave. The wolves have the advantage of numbers, working together, and greater agility. The bear is much bigger and stronger. Wolves can kill a grizzly only if it is a cub, and that would require defeating the most ferocious bodyguard in existence, a mother grizzly. Wolves win if their constant harassment, surrounding the bear and nipping at it from all directions, convinces the bear to retreat due to having lost against large numbers. What constitutes the critical point depends on the size of the bear and his determination. A smaller bear will usually give up against a modest number of wolves, while a really big one cannot be intimidated by any number of wolves. 4. Lions versus hyenas. If you watched the Lion King movie, certainly you remember the rivalry between the lions and the hyenas. They were very afraid of Mufasa, but used to chase little Simba. Lions are much stronger than hyenas, so you would consider it a very unfair contest. But in reality, things are not the same every time. Hyenas and lions are two species whose living range heavily overlaps. When conflicts arise, it's usually in the hyena's favor when they have their clan as backup. With a heart twice as large as a lion, stellar stamina, jaw pressure exceeding 1000 psi, and an intelligence rivaling primates, hyenas are more than capable of fending off and holding their own against lions. In fact, this scavenging notion attributed to hyenas is quite true for lions. Lions are known to follow hyena calls and simply use their overtly massive body to push the much smaller hyenas around. That's why hyenas as pack hunters use numbers to their advantage. 5. Giant squid versus sperm whale. Sperm whales range from 49 to 59 feet, 15 to 18 meters, and can dive as deep as 3,280 feet, 1,000 meters, and that is probably where they find their mortal enemy. Giant squids are deep-sea creatures that can be the real versions of the mighty mythological kraken. The biggest ever found measured 59 feet, 18 meters. It's hard to say who would win such a fight, and that's because the giant squid lives in very deep waters, and a fight like this has never been seen or filmed. Though giant squid are encountered remarkably rarely by people, they are thought to make up about 3/4 of sperm whales' diet in the Southern Ocean. Even if the giant squid especially is equipped with a fearsome arsenal of weapons, including barbed swiveling hooks, and often leaves scars on the bodies of sperm whales. The number of colossal squid beaks found in the stomachs of sperm whales indicate that the latter often win. 6. Honeybees versus Asian giant hornets. Giant Asian hornets, like their name states, are huge hornets of 2 inches that can fly up to 15 miles per hour. They like to feed honeybee larvae to their young, and so begins one of the most incredible wars in the whole animal kingdom. Asian giant hornets invade honeybees' hives, searching for the larvae, and destroy everything in the process. They cut the bees' heads off with their mandibles. When the bees try to fight back and sting their enemies, they cannot pass through the hornet's strong armor. One hornet alone can take down 20 bees per minute. At this point, you're probably thinking that the bees cannot do anything to fight back. Well, the truth is, they have developed an incredible defense against these invaders. When a hornet finds a hive, the bees do not try to stop it. Instead, they let it in and fall right into their trap. They surround the hornet, forming a bee ball, and start to vibrate, heating up the hornet until it is cooked. This is one of the most spectacular defense mechanisms in nature. Asian giant hornets are the most terrible insects, but the honeybees can be brave enough to fight them back. 7. Mongoose versus cobra. Throughout history, fewer epic brawls in the animal kingdom have gained more renown than the classic battle between the cobra and the mongoose. In ancient Egyptian and Indian civilizations, cobras were feared for their venom and worshipped as deities, and mongooses were revered for their ability to dispatch venomous snakes. Yet, while cobras are not interested in devouring mongooses, Mongooses can and do devour cobras and other venomous snakes. While the cobras have very potent venom, this is unfortunately not enough to stop a hungry mongoose. This is because many species of mongoose are extremely agile, have thick fur coats, and possess specialized acetylcholine receptors that render them resistant or immune to snake venom. So, in a battle between a cobra and a mongoose, it is incredibly lopsided in favor of the mongoose. Nevertheless, this does not make the battle any less fascinating. When the cobras and mongooses flourish and parry, they are graceful and crafty. 8. Python versus alligator. Male American alligators reach, on average, 11.2 feet, 3.4 meters, and can weigh up to 1,000 pounds, 450 kilograms, but it is not common. The alligator's back skin is armored with bony plates. Burmese pythons range from 16 to 23 feet, 5 to 7 meters, and weigh up to 200 pounds, 90 kilograms. They kill their prey by constriction, squeezing until it suffocates. They are also great swimmers, being able to stay underwater for 30 minutes. American alligators and Burmese pythons will not usually engage in confrontation. But the unusual thing about these two beasts is that when they do, either one can win the battle and eat the other one. The only difference is that the gator will eat piece by piece, and the python will swallow its meal whole. 9. Elephant versus rhino. Ranging from 8.2 to 13 feet, 2.5 to 4 meters, African elephants are the biggest land animals on the planet. They can weigh up to 14,000 pounds, 6,350 kilograms. Rhinoceroses are smaller, but still big. They range from 4.5 to 6 feet, 1.4 to 1.8 meters, and can weigh up to 3,000 pounds, 1,400 kilograms. Both animals can attack with brute force, have incredible stamina, and are equally intelligent, which is perhaps why they don't typically fight. Elephants are usually peaceful creatures, but a must period, high level of sexual hormones, can easily change that. Elephants in a must become tremendously aggressive and will probably attack a rhino that crosses their path. The elephant can take down the rhino and smash it with its great weight. In February 2000, a young group of orphaned elephants at an African park was reported to have killed 36 rhinos. In this case, elephants developed an extremely aggressive behavior. This may have happened because of the lack of adult elephants' influence. The young group was actually hunting down the rhinos. 10. Polar bear versus walrus. Polar bears are giant beasts from the Arctic. An adult can reach 8 feet, 2.5 meters, and weigh up to 1,600 pounds, 720 kilograms. A walrus is a very dangerous prey for polar bears. It ranges from 7.25 to 11.5 feet, 2.2 to 3.5 meters, and can weigh up to 1.5 tons. That is, twice as heavy as a polar bear. They also have 2-3 feet long tusks that can be used as powerful weapons. When a polar bear tries to attack a walrus, anything can happen. The bear is stronger and a natural predator, but there are many cases of polar bears found dead or severely wounded by walruses' tusks. The polar bear will have an advantage over walrus on land, but in most cases you will find that when walruses get attacked by polar bears, they try to flee towards the water, and that way they gain advantage. Walrus uses its tusk as the major weapon and makes the kill successfully. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button.